This is our final match preview of the season. Of course, we'll do plenty more next season. It's Hal here with you, and Ollie's alongside me. You all right, Ollie?
Hey, yes, I'm not too bad. Thank you, Hal. I've very much been enjoying the sunshine today. And yeah, I don't know how I feel about it being the last one of the season. Bittersweet, innit? Because it feels as though, we get to enjoy ourselves, we get to have our celebrations, get to go to the parade on Thursday, but also I really I could have enjoyed a bit more of this season. We've been good. And when we've been good, just drag the seasons on for as long as we can, because it is nice to watch us be good.
Totally agree. And in today's match preview, you'll get Birmingham City Sheffield United team news ahead of the 3 p.m. kickoff at St Andrews. It is on Bank Holiday Monday. We will look at last time out. We'll look at players that played for both in our player connections, and we'll give you our score predictions as well. Big shout out to our members. Thanks to each and every one of you for supporting the channel. You can hit join if you're watching on YouTube and continue to do that. Let's talk very briefly, Ollie, about the last game.
Last game, let's see. First off, United were decent. Jefferson should have scored and we should have been 1-0 up, potentially 2-0 up with the game put to bed. Second off, we were rubbish. They've scored an absolute worldie. But ultimately, who cares? We're going up. Doesn't really matter. Let's move on, I think. Don't think there's much more to say.
I think you're absolutely right. And we will indeed move on from that. I don't want to be talking about 2 defeats on the trot. We do want to put it right against Birmingham. And you know what? Last time we played them, Ollie, it was the kind of scoreline that I would take again. So please talk me through it.
Yeah, United were actually starting to get a bit of form going last time we were away at Birmingham. Heckingbottom had come in after that poor start, and we were just in that run where we were starting to get rolling towards the playoffs. Now, United had to come from behind, but it was a 2-1 victory, and that's what's Hal alluding to, because if we get that again, be a nice happy end to the season. So how did the game go? United should have had a penalty in the first half. Some lovely bit of trickery from Illiman and Jai on the left wing, gets between two players, then gets clipped from behind. But as we all know, United don't get penalties. So, yeah, never mind. Play on, ref. Don't worry about it. Now, fortunately, he redeemed himself because they definitely also should have had a penalty. Start of the second half, ball comes in. For some reason, Jayden Bogle competes for a header like this. Don't know why he puts his arm up next to his head. Don't know why he punches the ball. But fortunately, play on waved again. Clearly, that day, Keith Stroud didn't want to be the centre of attention for giving penalties, which isn't like him. Not long after that, though, Birmingham did take the lead. Former United man, Lyle Taylor, scored a lovely finish, to be honest. They hit us on the break after a switch from Bogle was intercepted. Got the overload down United's left-hand side. Taylor cut inside, cut a lovely finish on his right foot, but they were only ahead for a couple of minutes, not long at all. Sander did fantastic in central midfield, plays the perfectly weighted ball for Billy Sharp to run in and do what Billy Sharp does, and that's score goals. And we would love to see him score another one at St Andrews to finish this season and to get to 250. United then won the game with what Sky said was in controversial fashion. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, still don't know what's controversial about it. I remember being confused at the time, and I was confused watching it on the replay. United play a long pump forward. Billy Sharp kind of meanders towards the goalkeeper, who completely panics, heads it away for no reason whatsoever when he could have just waited for it to come into his box and caught it. United pick it up in midfield, play some lovely one-touch football that ends with a fantastic goal by Jayden Bogle. 2-1, nothing to complain about. Or so I thought. Apparently, Billy's randomly walking was offside, and they complained about it for about 10 minutes, and Bowyer went off on it in his post-match. Don't know why, but it was 2-1 win for United, and we'd certainly take that again.
Oh, we absolutely would. Well summarised. This next section is brought to you by Indigo Resurrection Bar, the official matchday bar of the Sheff United Way, formerly known as the Devonshire Cat. You can find us there on match days. Why not make it your own pre-match tradition? Of course, you can visit it in the off-season as well. It is team news and predicted lineup. So what do we know already? Jayden Bogle, a doubt for the final game. He dislocated his finger last week. Max Lowe went off injured, of course, after 8 minutes against Huddersfield, forcing Paul Heckingbottom into his earliest ever substitution. And also Anel Ahmedhodzic and his wife are now proud parents. So congratulations. The only story I can remember that ran longer was our pursuit of Dan Burn. Let's talk about some of the quotes from Paul Heckingbottom. We want to approach Monday well, regardless of the game. There's one more game, and we want to make sure we win it. We want to make sure everyone's fit and ready to go. It is an important game as far as I'm concerned. You do want to finish on a high. I do think it helps. It also gives us a chance, if we are going to play some of the fringe players, to really see, are they going to be able to cut it? Because as much as I love the man who made this shirt famous, Chris Basham, if he's going to get turned inside out in the Championship, I need to know he can cut it in the Premier League. So if we're starting him, I want to see him put in a really good performance. That confidence could then lead into next season if he's going to be playing. And Nick thinks he will. This is in good Nick's predicted team with Wes in goal. I mean, maybe Davies could play in this one. I think it's unlikely. Then he's gone with Basham at right centre-back, Egan and Jackie Longthrow. Ollie, do you think there's a chance Kieran Clark gets a final match and then maybe there's a question him next season?
I mean, there's a question mark in there, because if there's any long-term future in Kieran Clark staying with Sheffield United, if there's any interest in that, then yes, I think he probably should come in. We should see what he's got to offer. But personally, I don't think there's a place for him at Bramall Lane next season. I just think his injury problems and everything else on top of that probably mean it's not the kind of gamble we want to be taking. So while there's a chance, I think I'd rather see players who are going to be here next year. And for me, that's Jackie Longthrow, who probably gets the nod.
Yeah, there's also an argument for throwing some of the youngsters in, but Baldock and Stevens, Nick suggesting in for Lowe, who of course went off injured, Sander, Doyle, Iliman, McAtee, and Ollie McBurney up top. It would be an interesting side. I think McBurney needs a good game.
Yeah, I do as well. But having said that, he got his goal, Preston, last weekend. He then wasn't obviously starting in the game against Huddersfield. So it'd be nice to see him get a run, get a proper game towards the end of the season. But what that does do, of course, is lower the chances of Billy Sharp being able to get that magic number 250. I'd like to see him in the team, I think. But it's weighing it up, because McBurney deserves it. He's had a fantastic season. He's really turned around his United career, I think, this year, because quite frankly, before this season, I don't think anybody was interested in looking at that extension in his contract. Don't think we were really going to be that bothered if he ended up leaving us at the end of this season. But he's proved himself an important part of our team. He's had a good season, as I say. So it might be nice for him to get the nod and be able to really play that last game and go off with a bit of a celebration.
Yeah, agreed. Birmingham have been in a bit of a mess for a little while. In fact, we will look very soon at what they've been saying on their forum. But before we do, Ollie, can you talk us through, please, the opposition 11?
Of course. So Birmingham, as Hal says, have been a really weird team. If we go back to last summer, I think loads of people expected they were going to be one of these financial crisis clubs with the points deductions, with the issues. We thought potentially they were probably going to come bottom. And so we really shouldn't overlook the job that John Eustace has done there in keeping them up, because I really do think that's been excellent work from him this season. But they're not ending the season in good form at all. Only won one of the last 6. And after a really poor display against Coventry last weekend, I think that they're probably going to make a few changes to see what they can do to maybe try and go out on a high. Eustace himself isn't going to be on the touchline. He's suspended. Coventry got a questionable penalty last weekend, and he was a little bit angry about it. And so he's got himself a touchline ban. So we know for them who's not going to be there. Gary Gardner, George Hall, Tahith Chong, Scott Hogan, John Ruddy, Placheta, Josh Williams, and I can't remember his name. I think it's Tate Campbell, his first name. They're all out injured. So that's a lot of losses for them at the moment. I think there's been illness in the camp as well. So there could even potentially be a few others who are out for them. So we think there'll probably be a few youth prospects in there. I think because of performances, Jordan James is probably going to be dropped. And that will likely see somebody like Janino Bakuna come into the team. And also Alfie Chang might replace the younger Bellingham brother, who I don't think is going to get the nod in this one. So what do I think they're going to look like? There's a chance they go 3-5-2, put another defender in there, but I think they'll probably try and stick to what they've been doing and what they've done so well this season, and that's a 4-2-3-1. It'll look something like Neil Etheridge in goal, a back four of Maxime Collan, Mark Roberts, Kevin Long, and Aaron Trusty. The 2 deeper midfielders will be Alfie Chang and Christian Bielik. Christian Bielik, a fantastic player when he can stay fit, and one that potentially could go a little bit higher than the Championship if he can overcome the knee injuries that seem to have really affected him the last few seasons. In front of them, it'll probably be Hannibal, who you can't miss him when he's on the pitch because he just stands out. He's a good player, but his hair is massive and he always likes a tackle. So one that's fun to watch at the very least. Juninho Bacuna, I think, will come in, as I say, and then former United man Reda Kadra will likely start on the wing. And I know we all expect maybe something from him to try and prove a point to a manager who just didn't fancy him when he was at United. Up front, I think it'll be the big man, the man who's always been there, Lukas Djukovic. So, interesting 11. What do you think, Hal? Is Kadra the man to watch?
I don't want to say something that could get clipped and make me look a little bit silly. I always liked Reda Kadra and thought he would be a decent addition, but we never played him in a position that would work for him. We certainly didn't play to his strengths, but we'll always have Swansea away, and that is all I'm going to say. Instead, we'll look at the opposition view from, created by Roy. He's a good lad, Roy, with his little face. Go to roysviewfrom.com, and you can read these yourself. But if you'd rather me just pick out my personal favourite 4, here's some quotes from Blue Nose fans. Sheffield United at home, they are promoted, so we'll be on the beach. Ollie, just a quick thought on each one as I go through. Do you agree that United are on the beach?
No, I don't think so. Obviously, wasn't our best performance midweek, but I do think, as I say, we had chances in the first half where we could have put that game to bed. And I think if we get those same chances, we will take them in this one. I think that lack of pressure does help us a little bit. And Birmingham themselves have been on the beach for weeks, so they're not exactly in a place to take advantage. So no, I disagree. I think United might actually put in a performance for this one.
Let me know in the comments, do you think United will be on the beach for this one? First scorer, Kadra, against the manager that didn't fancy him.
There's a chance on that. There's a chance. I wouldn't bet against it, shall we say.
Fair enough. Anybody that is happy and even congratulating Blues for this season are happy, clapping, perennial losers. You are part of the problem. Thanks for nothing to Eustace and everybody he manages. Losers.
I hope they weren't listening to my opposition view about 30 seconds ago, because as I went through their team news, I was praising how well they'd done. Jesus, they're... I think they've got eyes a little bit bigger than their belly because, they're no better. This is the best they could hope for right now.
Real missed opportunity as well for that guy to call John Eustace John Useless, I think, in that rant.
That would have been nice.
Real missed opportunity. It would have been the cherry on a horrible, horrible cake. Final one from Birmingham fans that I've selected. I'm protesting by not going. Well, there you are. Some interesting opinions from Birmingham City fans. Let's have a look at the referee for Birmingham City against Sheffield United. It is David Webb, not that one, from County Durham. What do you think, Ollie? David Webb?
Ugh, God.
Good noise.
Thanks. Finally, it's taken me all season, but on the last one, finally nailed a sigh.
You did, yeah. Keep that for next season. You might need it. Now, he's taken charge of 39 games this season. He's given 111 yellows, which is about par for the course. But this next stat isn't. 9 reds. That might not sound it. Trust me, that's on the high side. He's also given 8 penalties. He has given penalties as well in matches we've seen. I'll go through some of them. For this season, he refereed the Blades 1-1 draw at Luton. He refereed our 3-3 at home against Blackpool, where you might remember he sent everybody off. Absolute carnage at the end of that match. And he was in charge of our 4-1 win very recently against Cardiff City, where, of course, he gave a penalty to the away side. And that game, the first match I took my nephews to, so that game will always be particularly fond in my heart. So that's the referee. If you do want referee stats before they're released on here, make sure you follow me at Hal the Blade on Twitter. Little cheeky plug. When we're talking about being cheeky, Ollie doesn't like it when I bring this up. This is the prediction table from the prediction video. You can't see, but he's looking away wistfully out of the window, shaking his head. Ollie, you started strong, but it's all fallen apart. The wheels have very much come off. I don't really follow lower league football, but people tell me that's happened for a team from Sheffield 6 as well. So what's happened?
It's been a bottle job, to be honest with you, Hal. You know, I was riding high. I got cocky. You could say I was bouncing, and then the sucker punchers came in and hit me. He's just overtaken me, destroyed me. I need a really strong end to the season, and potentially we might start to include the playoffs in our predictions. So there's a chance. There's a chance I can still catch him up and not end up our loser, because that's not what anybody wants to see. But while we're on the matter of doing selfless plugs, Hal, because, you know, noted one for yourself. So there's one coming from me as well. Please do go and check out my Twitter at Beastly Ollie. I've done a video on Illiman and Jai for the League of 72. Really enjoyed it, chronicling his life, what he's come through, and how much he's shining in this Sheffield United team. I think it's definitely worth a watch. I think it's a great video. I think if you do get the chance to give me any feedback on it, it would be much appreciated. So check that out on League of 72 on YouTube.
Okay, a couple of things. One, I've warned you about doing that when you're talking to me. The other one, on the League of 72, you said your Haalands, your Mbappe's. Now, you know that's a pet hate of mine. You know,
yeah, I did.
However, on this occasion, I'm going to let you go, because Alfie Inga Haaland, Erling Haaland, that's your Haalands. Okay? There is more than one Haaland in football. Mbappe has two brothers, both of which are professional footballers. So I'm assuming you were talking about them.
I was talking about the family. Yeah.
Great,
yeah, Mbappe's.
Great. I'll let you off then. Fine. So yeah, do check out Ollie's video. Do check out the score predictions video as well. So yeah, League of 72. Ollie's done a fantastic job there. But is he about to do a fantastic job with your score prediction, or are you going to be, as you have been over recent weeks, a bit of a negative, Nelly?
Yes, I am not feeling negative for this one. I think United will win this game. Think I'm going for 2-1. Like I say, I think what will happen here is that United will start really well. I think we'll have a strong first half. And if we get the goals that our performances deserve, I think that will be enough to get us over the line. I do think there's a chance we get a sucker punch, probably from Reda Kadra. I do think he'll probably score against us, but I don't think it'll matter. I think we'll win this game. I think we'll end the season on a high and go flying off to the Premier League on a positive note. What about yourself?
Nick thinks it's going to be 3-2 to the Blades. I just don't think it's going to be that good a game. No. I think both teams are really just going to go through the motions, not want to pick up injuries. It'll probably be a second gear match the whole way through. I do predict a 0-0. I think it'll be quite dull. And if you are going to miss any game this season, possibly the one to miss. However, if you're going, make it a fantastic atmosphere, party, enjoy it like Stoke. And that was a draw as well. No one cared. And I don't think they will this time. And I do think it'll be a draw. So that's just what I predict. I hope I'm wrong. Hope United win. When we talk about player connections, there was actually a player in there, Paul Devlin, who played for both. Ollie, do you want to give me any players that played for Birmingham City and Sheffield United, please?
Yeah, of course. You know, I referenced one earlier. We've got Lyle Taylor. He was one who stood out to me. Mark Duffy as well. The bounce killer, the man, the myth, the legend. Always love him and always nice to be able to bring him up. I've got one, of course, who played for Sheffield United, but hasn't played for Birmingham, but was a coach for Birmingham as part of Gary Monk's backroom staff. That, of course, James Beattie, who we all love. So I'm including him anyway, Hal, whether he played for him or not.
Nope. Okay, disqualified. I am going to go with Peter and Love. How's about David Reg Holdsworth,
Nice.
Curtis Woodhouse, Carl Tyler, Clayton Donaldson, Scott Hogan's there at the moment.
Hogan.
One I will just shout out, because it's on this channel, a fantastic interview with the greatest player called Marcelo ever to come out of Brazil. Marcelo, do have a little look. We've got a whole section of player interviews. And also, we've got all of our interviews with players available as audio podcasts. If you'd rather listen in the way to work or at the gym or a little walk, just search Sheff United Way, wherever you get your podcasts. Ollie, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the match on your bank holiday Monday.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. And of course, to any Blades, I'm not on Match Reaction tomorrow. But if you're going to the parade on Thursday, I might see you outside the City Hall for a really nice party atmosphere. We'll see you there.